The end of three quarters. Minnesota, when they've led at the end of three, 34-1 this year, but the Kings are 33-2, and they have the lead.
Serious enough with Chris Webber in the locker room and Joe Maloof and Gavin standing outside waiting the word.
So everybody up at Arco. Minnesota trailing by 2. And they've got the ball looking to even it up again.
Tremendous pressure on Mike Wilkes. Matched up at the point position against Bobby Jackson. Good screen by Wilkes that time. He draws the foul on Keon Clark trying to battle through.
Let's check in with David Aldridge. D.A.
Guys, Chris Webber just getting his left ankle retaped. It gets loose from time to time, and he wants to get a fresh coat before the fourth quarter gets going.
All right, we'll get him a fresh coat.
It's amazing how quickly that tape breaks down. Literally 3 or 4 minutes once you start playing and really moving before it's rendered useless. And a tremendous delivery of the jump hook by Joe Smith. What a post-entry pass. Big
shot by Smith. His first field goal of the night, and it ties things up at 62. Gary gives Clark his 4th foul.
Excuse me there, Brandon. This is a game, though. And the implications, ramifications, just huge.
So Joe just back in the lineup for a couple of games. Looked like he was going to head to the locker room and not come back, but he's contributed. And so is Gary Trent with a stick back inside.
Minnesota with 22 losses. Sacramento with 19. San Antonio with 18. Dallas still riding high with 14.
Vlade Divac's nice move through a foul. Stojakovic, Turkoglu looking on the sideline. Turkoglu barely gets any time as deep as his team is. The guy that scored over 10 points a game last season for Sacramento.
Sad even.
Yeah.
He's such a nice guy and such a wonderful player. Rick Adelman, though, has tightened up the rotation. Odd man out. Not only Hedo Turkoglu, but Gerald Wallace as well. And Gerald Wallace, that guy one day is going to be a star in this league.
Let's check in again with D.A. with Divac on the line.
Guys, you mentioned Hedo Turkoglu, and Chris Webber was saying yesterday that he understands that Hedo is frustrated because he hasn't gotten a chance to play, but said this is not the time to start whining. We're trying to win a championship. So he went to Hedo and said, would you rather be known as a member of a championship team or the best player on a bad team? That kind of straightened everything out.
Good point. Well said. Garnett trying to get around Clark. That's a lot of arms and legs to get around, and he did.
Oh, the slippery eel with the reverse half twist at the end.
That was a coiled eel. You didn't know eels could coil, did you? 17, making 19 for Garnett.
Those moray eels are special.
They're big.
Wally first to the ball.
And Jim Jackson fouled him.
This is an impressive performance by Minnesota. To get spanked last night at Seattle, but with Kevin Garnett putting on an offensive repertoire that would put him in the class with guys like Kevin McHale, with guys like Dr. J and Connie Hawkins and Elgin Baylor. And Kevin Garnett is bigger and more athletic than all of those guys.
And still a youth.
This guy is like he was generated from a computer program.
Said make a basketball player. Serbiak through a bunch of traffic.
3 seconds.
Minnesota turns it over.
And that's not really Gary Trent's fault because he's trying to establish that position. He's anticipating the shot's going to be taken, but Wally Szczerbiak just got caught in a tower of trees. No place to go other than kick it out. The extra pass forced the violation.
Minnesota leading by 3, 10:25 remaining. And Chris Webber has retaped a new coat, as DA would call it.
But you can see that he's limping when he walks. I mean, that's not a good sign. The playoffs don't even start for 6 more weeks.
Divac backing in on Smith. Backed in too much without dribbling.
Vlade's having a tough time with the refs tonight.
He's kind of crazy, huh? Garnett. In and out. Rajovic. Got it.
Rajo just out-positioning Vlade, and now some sounds of disapproval from the loyalists here at Arco.
It's a 6-point Minnesota lead. Here's a guy that can half a lead in a hurry. Bobby Jackson.
I like that.
Webber is open. Didn't get the jumper. Vlade keeps it alive. And is fouled.
I've got a question. How'd you spell that? H-A-L-F or H-A-L-V-E?
H-A-L-F is the way I was going with it. Probably wrong.
I think it would be the other way around.
I think you're probably right. I was just talking and I wasn't spelling.
My mom will have the answer, the librarian.
Gloria, get on that for us, will you? Give us a call. We've already been corrected. You're right. From the truck, they tell us.
My mom called that quick.
Mom's got speed dial in. Dad Fivershop, our producer. Here it's 70-66. Minnesota leading on the road with 8 minutes, 38 seconds remaining. As we take a look at our Sprite Mad skills of the night, this guy has got as many skills as anybody in the business. Kevin Garnett on his way, it appears, to a 20-point, 20-rebound affair. And he's done it all over. 19 points, 18 boards. He's in the MVP hunt. He's shown us a little bit of everything against a variety of defenders tonight. And he has his team in front, 70-66.
And he's had his way with Vlade here in the second half.
Chris Webber, new tape on the ankle, trying to go to work with that jump hook. 18 for Chris.
And he can't even run up the court.
Nope, flat-footedly runs up court.
Boy. And just the quick delivery, that was automatic. That was memory muscles just delivering on mental command.
Garnett trying to go around Webber. Couldn't find the handle and walked with it.
Wow. That sure looked like a grab and a push.
That's what he's saying. No call that way, and Minnesota's lead's been diced down to 3.
If Garnett would create more space, get that ball at 15 feet against Webber instead of at 8 feet, he'd have more room to expose Chris Webber's lack of mobility.
Stojakovic, boy, that's a tough shot. And Webber, or Garnett rather, has 20 rebounds.
How many 20-20 games does this guy have?
Well, had that gone, he would have had one right here. And little Mike Wilkes keeps it alive for the Timberwolves.
They're getting fabulous point guard play in Minnesota. And the offensive rebounding story, which was all Sacramento in the first half, is now swinging dominantly in favor of Minnesota.
8 on the shot clock, 7 minutes and under to play. Trent just bullying his way inside.
Well, we are seeing a determined performance by this entire Minnesota squad, led by Kevin Garnett. The T-Wolves have a +15 rebound edge on the night over Sacramento.
Here's a double team on Bobby Jackson. That leaves Vlade open.
Poor spacing by Sacramento. Can they recover?
Webber inside. Vlade cleans up the miss. Divac has 11. Christie and Bibby looking on.
So tough to see Chris Webber having to labor up and down the court like that. Basketball is such a celebration of life. Oh, almost a great backdoor cut opportunity for Wilkes.
Garnett has got a Barbara Walters night, 2020. Actually, it's 21-20.
Have you noticed how they haven't been calling many fouls lately?
Not really. 5-point Minnesota lead.
That's a tough shot there.
It rattled halfway down and came out on Bobby Jackson.
Initially, you might want to think about just continuing.
Baseline. That would have been unbelievable had that gone in.
And it was right there.
Sacramento chance to tie or lead. And a push as Bibby was heading to the basket.
Garnett came on a cross screen and Vlade switched over to him, and he was wide open for the jump hook. That he comes with the spinner and the slice to the shot, but the give and go. Is there any team better in the league than the Sacramento Kings? And the change of pace, change in direction for the give and go.
There within two. Had his troops around him in that timeout as they lead by 2 with 3:22 left.
Come on, move it like that. Let's go. Come on now. Lock in. Let's all go. Here we go. Right now. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. He's going to miss one, so block out here.
Remember, they started by losing to Seattle last night, 92-83. This would be a huge win for them if they could go to 41-22 and beat Sacramento 3 out of 4 in the season series. But Bibby's trying to tie things up right here.
On-court leadership to win on the road. What the MVP is all about. Can Kevin Garnett make the big plays and get what he wants rather than settling for what Sacramento forces him to take?
Here we go. 3:15 left. We're tied at 77.
You got to get moving if you're Minnesota.
Gill, a jump shot that goes.
Realizing that Webber can't move enough or explode laterally. They made the switch. They forced it defensively. Webber could not hang with Kendall Gill on the perimeter.
Christie trying to get it to Divac. Kevin Garnett comes out of the pile with a turnover on Sacramento. Garnett thought about it.
It's a good thing he thought twice.
Zerbiak slips. No traveling. Hudson almost walked with it. Zerbiak for three. Lottie with a rebound.
Amazing. They had a lot of time still. Poor clock management. More touches for Garnett.
Bibby trying to power his way in. Feeds Divac. Doesn't go, but he'll go to the free throw line.
Tough entry pass. Just leaves Garnett in a quandary.
Garnett picked up his dribble. Gill hit his last jumper, and he hit another one. Wow. He's been quiet all night. 4 big points in this quarter.
The consummate professional, Kendall Gill.
Divac, great dish by Webber. Chance for a three-point play.
Sacramento ecstatic. The fans surging toward the court. Not quite sure of the defensive strategy of double-teaming Doug Christie as he dribbles away from the basket to allow Vlade
and a half to go.
Portland already lost tonight.
Zerbiak jump. Goes first basket of the fourth quarter for Wally. He's got 15.
Minnesota has never had the home court advantage in any playoff series.
And part of it, and Zerbiak hits Stojakovic. Upset with himself over that foul, but going to send Stojakovic to the free throw line for 3.
Zerbiak gets it done on the offensive end, but the mental breakdowns on defense.
Screen and roll with Bibby, Webber diving, and Vlade coming up top to shoot the jumper if neither one of those guys is open. Back to you.
Here's your ball game. No fouls to give either way. Christie will inbound.
What do they do with the first 10 seconds? Do they put it in Bibby's hand initially? I'd keep it out of there, let him suck up some air a little bit.
Here it is. They'll probably make the move in about 8 or 7 seconds. Bibby with Hudson in front of it. Down to 10. Sacramento looking for their 26th win at home. Tied with Minnesota. Double team on Bibby. Got a pick from Divac and fell down. Hudson looks up. Chance to win it at the buzzer.
Oh,
overtime.
Kevin Garnett. Oh, that decision by Troy Hudson.
But it's overtime here where the Kings are 1-2. The Timberwolves are 2-1. And you know, one of those overtime wins for Minnesota was against Sacramento at the Target Center. So they've been in this spot before this year.
Oh, Christie quicker to the ball.
And missed it for the lead. And Garnett is still down. Holding looks like his left hamstring.
This is not good.
No. Not good at all.
Well, this guy never misses a game. What's he missed, like 13 in his entire career?
Grabbing the back of his left leg. It just looked like he grabbed his hamstring, but it's hard to tell whether it happened immediately on the jump and the landing. Flip Saunders is out there. Greg Farnham, the trainer. And obviously, even though 17,000 plus in the building holding their breath because they know that they're not only watching one of their own greats in Chris Webber, but one of the greats in the NBA in Kevin Garnett. And up. So far, so good. And he gets a nice round of applause from the sellout crowd.
This guy's tough.
In a lot of pain, heading to the bench. Let's take a look, see if we can see anything here.
He turned. Steps just on Vlade's foot with his left ankle there. Look how high he jumps in the air here.
And then watch the left foot come down and turn to the outside.
Guy's level player. You talk about an MVP. You talk about a league-wide asset. Kevin Garnett.
So sucking up the pain with 4:49 remaining in overtime. Sports Center follows us.
Again, now this is where his teammates have got to come alive. You know, Kevin Garnett's got him this far. No time to quit and walk away.
5 on the shot clock. Garnett over Divac.
You're
got it.
kidding me. Look at him lying down, prone on the ground.
He pulled a Jim Brown on us there, I think. Slow back to the huddle and then go for about 40. It's a 2-point Minnesota lead in overtime.
And Nesterovic guard Vlade. This is where Vlade's often at his best.
Stojakovic missed a 3. Weber, the bounce pass right back to him. And he's going to the free throw line. Kevin Garnett, that last trip down with the shot clock winding down, has the presence of mind to pull up that elbow pad and then give Vlade one of those and then one of these.
That's when you know you're hot. Surprised you didn't go to the lick of the finger.
That'll be a Steve Nash move.
How many free throws for Peja Stojakovic?
He's 7 for 7. th best free throw shooter in the NBA, adding to it 8 for 8. 18 for Peja.
Allen Houston in the lead at that free throw race.
There's a lot of guys in the 90-plus category, including Troy Hudson, who's got it for Minnesota right now. Under 4 to go overtime. And a steal by Christie. Does it as well as anybody in the business. The anticipation of Doug Christie has given Sacramento the lead.
Chris Webber calling the crowd down to the court.
Hudson's in trouble.
Boy, this offense is broken down for Minnesota as the defense has come alive. Christie everywhere.
Garnett with about 4 guys on him. Did get a shot off. Stojakovic with a rebound. Weber. The hook doesn't go, and Garnett will clear off the glass.
Kevin Garnett's ability to force a miss and then turn and snatch the same rebound. Everyone standing.
Kevin Garnett has 23 rebounds.
Who wants to shoot for Minnesota?
There's an open look. Got it! Hudson.
Yeah, a late 3 called, but they are calling it 3.
First field goal since the second quarter for Hudson. He's got 14 for the game.
Not even close for Mike Bibby. The confidence is not there. Now you got both big guys limping.
Kevin Garnett on the night, 25 points, 24 rebounds. Hudson didn't get the roll. Stojakovic has done a nice job on the boards here in the second half.
Transition defense. Christie pushing the ball.
And a foul.
Fatigue, such a factor. Look at that shot.
Weber with Garnett on it. There's the jump hook again. That's been his bread and butter tonight.
Chris is just teasing him down there. When you can throw a jump hook on a guy who's got size and strength on you and athleticism, you know you've got game.
Kings by 2. Zerbiak for 3. It's blocked by Christie, but Gill. That's swatted out by Weber. 4 on the shot clock. Got to get it up there again. Zerbiak on a drive. Didn't get it off in time. Sacramento by 2 in overtime.
Their offense is well chronicled. Their defense, one of the best in the league as well.
Now with the lead, Sacramento can take its time a little bit more. Weber. Will it be the jump hook again? Yes. Yes.
Unbelievable game. Forcing a timeout, Chris Webber through the pain. The camaraderie.
Originally called a 3, and they changed it. Look at his right foot. It was a good call.
NBA players spend hours, a lifetime, stepping right up against that line all the time. They get that sense of how to not step too far forward. Not to be for Minnesota right now, as Chris Webber has put on a remarkable demonstration.
You think he and Garnett aren't worthy of what everybody says about them? Sensational nights by both.
Well, the fortitude of Webber. Beautiful back cut.
Gill, and he's got a chance for a 3-point play as Divac fouls him.
Rick Adelman just throws up his hands and says, how can we get backdoored for a 3-point play out of a timeout dead ball situation?
Kendall Gill's been big in the second half off the Minnesota bench.
It's the Kings' first foul since there was 8.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
Kendall Gill's 3-point plays made it a 1-point ball game in overtime. Brad Nessler, Bill Walton, David Aldridge, and our ESPN crew with 1:15 left in OT from Sacramento's Arco Arena. Sold out for the 163rd straight time. Great game. Two teams battling here in the West. Webber behind the back to Divac. He got it! What a pass!
It's been all Chris Webber. Now it's time for Kevin Garnett to come alive, to come right back. They got to run the offense through him.
He's asking for it. He's got it. And he's fouled.
The behind-the-back wraparound. One of the great passes in a postman's repertoire. The way he works Garnett up the lane to create passing space and angles. And the snap bounce pass.
Vlade gives him the wink.
That's the play call. When you're having that visual communication. It's so loud out here. There's no way you can ever have verbal communication in basketball. That's why Magic Johnson was such a great communicator. He had those fabulous eyes.
Body language. Garnett at the free throw line. 26 points. A career tying 24 rebounds for Kevin Garnett.
Clock management is clearly in favor of Sacramento. Getting that good start in overtime.
As he hit them both.
He doesn't look like he's wearing out at all, Kevin Garnett.
I don't think he ever does.
Like a machine out there.
40 seconds now remaining. 1-point game, Sacramento.
Oh,
Divac almost carried the ball en route.
almost.
Nesterovic, they didn't call it. You and I thought we saw it.
Well, Vlade had his hand underneath the ball as he drives.
Oh, boy. Points and 11 rebounds.
About to get 31 and 29 shot attempts. Now that's fun. You come to the gym and you know you're going to get 30 shots in a game. What could be better than that?
Bill and David and I talked before the game that we had two pretty good players in this one. Funny how that works out sometimes, that they come through.
14 on the shot clock here. I think Garnett's defense before Webber receives the ball is too hyperkinetic. He can stand up over the top of Webber.
He fronts him here as Bibby. He's having a look. And now here's Webber against Garnett. With 2 on his shot clock, he's fouled. And Garnett would love to have that back. Almost impossible shot to hit, and it was with about 2 left on the clock.
When you have size, strength, athleticism, length, just stay down. Wait till they bring the ball right into you.
Chris Webber is not a good free throw shooter, but tonight he's hit the only 2 he's taken.
The hardest thing when you're injured and playing through the pain that Webber is obviously in is that you know that as you come through the normal and natural ankle movement that pain is going to be there and it breaks your concentration.
He gives his team a 2-point lead, and Minnesota takes timeout. Spend virtually all of Flip Saunders' timeout almost in meditation of what was to come. This is where you envision a game-winning shot, or at least to give your team another opportunity to tie, to send it to another overtime. Sports Center follows us if we don't go in extra session. Here's the ball game. 20 seconds remaining.
Or do you go for a 3 here?
Knocked out of bounds from behind by Weber.
Go for the victory on the road. It's tougher to win in the overtime on the road.
They're only 2 out of 12 from outside the arc. Serbiak would be an option. Even though he has struggled at times, he's still a heck of a shooter.
They're going to Garnett in the paint.
Boy, and Weber behind him, all over him, double team. 8 seconds. Hudson looks up. He'll go for the win. Missed it. Sacramento got a timeout with 1.7. Sacramento, it looks like, is going to go to 26-5 at home.
And a heart-wrenching defeat for Minnesota.
Not a bad shot. The foul on Gill on Stojakovic, who's automatic from the free throw line. So far tonight, 8 for 8 for Peja, an 86% free throw shooter. And he can ice this one right here.
Weber carried the team. He was just too strong. The biggest moments went to Chris Webber. And let's never forget that it was Chris Webber who was on an MVP run in his own before he sprained the ankle and missed the 15 games.
25 and 11 will even look bigger than Kevin Garnett's 27 and 24, because it's going to be the all-important W in front of that box score. Stojakovic can ice it, and does right there. Perfect from the free throw line. Minnesota will take a timeout, but it's a 4-point game with 1.7 left.
Stand there if you're Sacramento. Kings got 12 more points.
And Gill hit the 3 to make it look closer. Gill had a great second half. Sacramento wins the ball game at home. And what a performance by those two young fellas. Wow. Unbelievable game by both. But only one can win. Sacramento's the team that does. Final 96-95 Kings.